mikO Tolliver here, ready to do your weekly recap. As you'll see, there's no Antonio here with me. He couldn't make it today. I'm so sad because, I love me some Antonio. But it's okay. I'm here and I'm going to give you the recap. I'm here on the deck at the station, KPFA radio. You can visit us online at kpfa.org. Tune in to 94.1 FM for all your KPFA shows. As I give you this recap, just know that anything I'm talking about, you can look up the link for to get more information on in the text of the post. So, yes, I hope that I give you some great news, give you some information on shows that you might have missed, but really want to check out. And again, just check out the text of the post. And Antonio will be back next week. But for now, you have me. Again, my name is mikO Tolliver, and you can follow me around on social media too at mikO Tolliver, in addition to following the station. All right, you guys ready to get started? What's going on? Yeah, I know that I am. And I think we're going to start off with Upfront, right? Upfront, which is weekdays at 7 a.m. and is hosted by Brian Edwards-Tiekert and Kat Brooks. Let's see what they had this past week. They had some information on the monkeypox outbreak. So that's getting really real. I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of reminding me a little bit of when coronavirus, or COVID now, was first taking off, and I was seeing on the news, oh, it's just a few cases. It's nothing to really be worried about. It's all right. And then I think it was like 3 cases here, 4 cases here, 5 cases there. And then one day I just woke up, 15 cases. I was like, 15, that's a big jump from 5. So yeah, we got info here on the monkeypox outbreak on Upfront this past week. It is the latest public health crisis. The World Health Organization has declared a global health emergency over monkeypox, with over 16,000 confirmed cases in 75 countries, although actual numbers are likely much, much higher. And Upfront this past week, they were joined by a frontline responder in San Francisco, which is one of the monkeypox hotspots in this country, and Dr. Peter Chin Hong, who is a professor of medicine and infectious disease physician at UCSF Medical Center. So if you're looking for more information on monkeypox, but in general, just more great information that they always deliver on Upfront, because they have all the local news, go ahead and check that out. Again, Upfront, weekdays at 7 a.m. Don't miss it. Yeah. All right. Next on our list, we got my boy, Mitch Jeserich. I'm trying to working on saying his name a little better. Apparently I was saying it wrong. See, this is when I wish Antonio was here, because he would correct me, just so you know you're saying it wrong. But I'm trying to get better. I'm going to get better. Yeah. Mitch Jeserich this past week actually did another live stream, because again, Mitch is working on more live streams. Yes, our buddy Mitch working on more live streams. And he put up a new one with, who is it? Craig McNamara. So Craig McNamara is the author of the book about he and his father, Robert McNamara, called Because Our Fathers Lied, a memoir of truth and family from Vietnam to today. I actually had the privilege of watching that entire live stream too, because I was the one operating the controls. Mitch always has some great guests on Letters and Politics, and you can always tune in to him Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. But remember that we live stream some of his videos of his interviews, and this was one of a really great one that he had. Not to mention he's been putting up more. So next week I'm going to tell you about some of the stuff he did this week, because he's already started. He's already done 2 this week, so he's got me on my toes. Check that out again. Letters and Politics, Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. with your host, Mitch Jeserich. All right. Yeah. Next on our list, the Pacifica Evening News had a nice little blurb about the Fed's raising interest rates. They say that we're in a recession. I guess like on paper, we're in a recession. We've had 2 periods of like non-growth of the GDP. So that makes it officially a recession. Some people are feeling it. Some people aren't. I guess people are on the fence. We're not in a recession. We are. Either way, I know that I'm trying to save some money. So I am hoping that you're going to save some money. But you should know that the Pacifica Evening News, which is hosted by Mark Miracle, did a nice little blurb on the Fed raising interest rates. The Federal Reserve raises interest rates again, despite fears it could prompt a recession. But I just told you that we are technically already in it. And they also did some stuff on assault weapons and privacy and health. But the thing about the Federal Reserve rates, that really piques my interest. We're here in the Bay Area. Super expensive to live here. just to find out that the interest rates to borrow money to get a home makes it even more expensive. So check that out. Maybe if you're looking to buy a home, you got a fighting chance. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna get a little sip of my water in my KPFA mug. You like that? Fiercely independent. Fiercely independent. It should say fiercely thirsty because that's how I felt. But check out Pacifica Evening News weekdays at 6 with Mark Miracle. Great information there. I totally miss Antonio. I want him to come back. He'll be back next week. That's cool. And we'll have more information for you. Next, a perfect segue from federal interest rates being raised. Behind the News did a little blurb on the racial wealth gap. There we go. This is another thing affecting me. There we go. We just talked. You can listen to the news at 6 on weekdays and find out that the feds are raising interest rates, and then go to Behind the News, which is aptly named, to find out there's a racial wealth gap. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, there is. And Behind the News had Alora Dirancourt, co-author. I want to make sure I got that. Dirancourt, sorry. Alora Dirancourt, co-author of this paper on the racial wealth gap, 1860 to 2020. And David Roediger, author of The Sinking Middle Class, on the uses of the term in U.S. politics. Yeah, saddens my heart. Glad here, though, that KPFA is here to give us the information and how to get through that, to know that this is going on, because then that's the best way, really, to fight it. Again, here in the Bay Area, hoping to one day own a home. I'm from the Bay Area. Did you know that? I've lived here my entire life. Sometimes I get ashamed of that because it makes me feel I'm not cultured enough because I haven't been living in other places, although I've visited other places. So don't get it twisted. I have been around the world. But even when I go to other places, I'm like, oh, I guess it's kind of hard to live someplace else because it's just not the Bay. It's so diverse, ethnically, culturally, economically, education-wise. But sorry, I'm looking to the back of me to see that hey, Josh. Josh is here back there in the kitchen because here, again, I'm on the deck. I'm here at the station, which is where we broadcast from, on the deck. We give you the weekly recap. But yeah, check out Behind the News, which also airs Thursdays at 12 p.m. Next on our list of great information, great shows that we had last week, we want you to catch. Again, all of these shows, anything I'm mentioning that you like, go ahead and check out in the text of the post. You can get the link there, go straight there. You can get the link for Mitch's interview. Watch that. You can get the link for Upfront and go and listen to it straight away. So all that information is there. But next, we have Hard Knock Radio with Davey D. That comes on at 4 p.m. That's 4 p.m. weekdays. This past week, he did a really great one on Theater of War. And he presented a documentary film, Theaters of War. Oh, you'll like this. So if you've seen Top Gun or Transformers, you might be wondering, does all of that military machinery on screen come with strings attached? And actually, I'm going to tell you, as somebody who does work in film production, it ain't free. Nothing in this world is free. So yes, there is a leg up there. So I'm glad that WD did this. I found this highlight and I wanted to bring it to you because I work in film. And I was like, yeah, people should know more about the things that are going behind the scenes. It's really interesting. But yeah, does the military actually get a crack at the script? Theaters of War, which is the documentary that they were talking about on Hard Knock Radio. Theater of War digs deep into a vast new trove of recently released internal government documents to bring the answers to these questions into sharp focus. I can tell you the answer. You don't have to go. You don't have to ask that. But this documentary will dive deeper into it and give you the real details. Yeah, there's a whole business behind that. There's big business in film industry. I know a lot of people just kind of watch shows, and that's fine. If you're a consumer of film, you're a consumer of shows, that's great. We need you. The human brain is built for storytelling. So no knock on that. That's great. But yeah, there's a whole business going on. I work in film production. I recently worked as a script supervisor on a film. I've done production assistant. I also do some commercial acting too, and I've done like some background work. So I can tell you, yeah, there's so many different levels. It isn't just your A-list Hollywood star or your A-list director and like, oh, such and such is so famous, the whole film is about them. No, actually, there's people in there. I've been on sets where there was a guy who was being paid just to turn on the smoke machine. He turned on. What are you doing? I'm doing special effects. That's his job. That was his job. That was his job. You can get paid for something like that. But yeah, there are total rules and a whole politics going on behind scene. You should know about it. So something like props and special effects, like the military appearing in the background of a big, gigantic movie like the latest Top Gun. Yeah, I think you would love really this recent episode of Hard Knock Radio. Check it out. Theater of War, hosted by David D. Hard Knock Radio, again, is weekdays at 4 p.m. In fact, I think I'm going to go and check out that. I'm going to go and check out that one because I want to hear what else David D has to say about something like that. Yeah? All right. Moving along. Another great show that we have here at KPFA, Flashpoints, this time with Greg Palast. Weekdays at 5 p.m. Now, this time, Greg Palast, he went over the attacks on the voting rights in Georgia. We need to keep up on that because elections are coming up soon. It's midterm elections. Just like the economy has a pattern, it seems like elections have a pattern as well. What is it they say? That the current party that is in office, like in charge, it's the opposing party that usually kind of comes back during the midterm elections. So here we are, we're getting ready to hit that. And I think I heard somewhere, what is it like? It's less than 100 days away. Less than 100 days away that we're going to be voting. Whew. I'm sweating just kind of thinking about it. Didn't we just do an election? Yes, we're always doing an election. That's right. And I told you guys to vote. Yes, because I like to encourage it. Yes, I vote. Please, you get out there and vote. But on Flashpoints, Greg wants to go over the voting rights that are in Georgia. And Greg Palast is back for another edition of the Election Crimes Bulletin. Our one-man voter protection squad goes eye to eye with racist vote bandits of Georgia. That's really sad. And he also have a crucial update on the life and death and case of Julian Assange. So check that out. Find that out. And don't forget to vote. 100 days away. So go ahead, start getting their information together. What are you going to vote? I want to ask Antonio. Antonio, how are you going to vote? He's not here. I'll ask him next week. Yeah? All right. And also, to our Area 94.1 podcast, we have a new addition. Again, Richard Wolinsky has been putting out a new interview every Sunday. Something new for you every Sunday on the Area 94.1 podcast. Richard Wolinsky interviewed Jonathan Lethem. And so on March 3rd, 2016, Richard Wolinsky had a chance to sit down with author Jonathan Lethem in front of a Berkeley audience as a benefit for KPFA. And Jonathan is the author of several novels, which include Motherless Brooklyn, Fortress of Solitude, Chronic City, and Dissident Gardens, along with short story collections and a book of essays, The Ecstasy of Influence. This event was recorded and it was intended as a career retrospective. And you should know that the first 45 minutes are devoted to prepared questions, and the rest is followed by a period of questions from the audience with follow-up. So you got information from the author, and then a nice Q&A section. So go ahead and check that out. Remember, our Area 94.1 podcast is online only. We don't play them on the radio. So this really is kind of like special stuff. Sometimes we dig into the archives, which seems to be the case for this particular time. But yeah, we dig into the archives. Also, there are other times when we kind of just like give you something new and something just special, but it's not on the radio. It's just online only. Area 94.1, visit that at kpfa.org/area 941. And with that, want you to know it's time to highlight a donor for the week. So we want to say thank you to Arthur from Hillsburg, California, for donating to the station, helping us keep the lights on, helping us keep me out here on the deck hanging out. Our summer fund drive is over. Thank you for all those who did donate. And if you go ahead, you continue to still give, because we're always open. We're not going to say no, because we always need your support. We are 100% listener supported. Appreciate you guys tuning in to On the Deck every week. And with that, I'm going to remind you to please follow us on social media, which is Facebook at KPFA 94.1 or Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at KPFA Radio. And if you want, go ahead and you can write something in the chat. If I get to see it, I will definitely make make an effort to say, oh, so-and-so said hi, things like that. But yeah, got all your information. Thanks again for supporting KPFA. Thank you. And again, if you missed something, I'll be back here every week with a recap of the week, some just great highlights from around the station. Anything that I mentioned that you want to check out, you go ahead and you look in the text of this post and you can find the link to that. You can also always visit kpfa.org, and don't forget to tune in to 94.1 FM. All right, folks. I think that's it. That's the rundown. Like I said, Antonio will be back next week, but I hope you guys had a good time with just me, because I know I had a good time with you. All right. Am I going to see you next week? All right. Bye-bye.